Hey folks, does your cast iron look like the inside of an old carburetor? Sticky, gunky, all messed up? Well, I have got something to save your life. Stick around. A lot of questions about what I was telling you. My skillet has got some sticky residue in it. You put your hand in there, it's gummy. Well, there's two really main reasons that cause this. Number one, that's probably the biggest cause of all of it in the world, too much oil. It just builds up an oil slick in a puddle, and then get it in the oven. One side cooks more than the other side, and then you have a different colored skillet as well, but also there's just a sticky, gummy residue that sets up. The second reason that causes this is when you season this skillet. Number one, you can't season a cold cast iron skillet. You're going to build up that oil slick, that residue. You've got to have it hot enough to season so it accepts the seasoning. Let's walk down this road together to get this skillet back to its slick condition where it needs to be, and y'all won't have no more problems. I just got finished frying me and Shan up some good hamburger meat here. Cleaned it all out really well. Hot water, just like we always use. There's a little water residue in there left, so first we're just going to wipe that water out of there. You can see it's gone. Now, a lot of folks are going to try to season it right now. That's where your problem begins. We got to get this thing hot first. I'm going to put it on about medium heat to get it hot enough to season. And I go by this touch up here. Sure, this is done getting hot. But when it gets up to here, I know this is ready to season because it takes it longer to get from the middle to here. You ain't got to put it up here and turn this thing on 900 degrees. Just get it on a pretty medium heat, because remember from a long time back, we don't want to shock no cast iron. I don't want it smoking hot because we're burning up the oil that we're trying to put on it. When it gets hot enough right there that I can't leave my fingers on it very long, I guarantee you the bottom of that skillet is ready to season. And we're nearly there. It don't take long at all. You got busy and you go ahead and you think it's hot and you pour your oil in there and it's smoking way too hot. Take that skillet and just set it off the fire. Let it cool a minute, so we don't want to burn that oil up as we're putting it in there. You can remove it from the heat. All right, we're ready to season this thing, so we are going to do her with some olive oil. Yeah. Oh, I got all the time in the world, I promise you. There ain't nothing going on here, I'll promise you that. Well, I think that ought to about do it. This is the biggest reason that you end up with something sticky. We done put enough oil in there to change a John Deere 4020 tractor 12 times. Way too much to keep from having this sticking problem. Is it just takes a little dab of oil. Size of a quarter if I'm guessing. Pour it in there. Good rag, no paper towel, lint-free rag. Wipe it around really good all the way around. Let her set a few minutes. Come back, fold that rag to a side that you didn't use. Wipe any excess oil that might be still in there, and you're good to go. That thing is not going to build up a sticky residue. It's going to build up a slick finish you can slide an egg out of every trip. Always start with a little bitty amount of oil, because we can always add a little more to it if you think you need some. We just want a good thin coat to layer the bottom and the sides. That's all we need. Say you got one of them skillets that's got that residue in there and we need to get it off. Get it hot, give it a good scrubbing. Most time it'll come off. If it's really gummy and that don't do it, stick it in the oven on about 300 for about an hour. That'll take it off there. When you come out of there, wipe that stuff out of there. You'll be good to go back and reseason. Now, if you ain't got none of them scouring pads or one of them foam bristle brushes that you can scrub that with, pour you some coarse sea salt in there when you get ready. Then just take you a piece of leather or one of them sponges. It'll scrub that residue out of there pretty quick. Rinse it out with good hot water. Bring it back over here to fire. Start the process again. But don't put too much oil in it. So, nothing says loving like cast iron cooking. I promise you. Give your skillet some love, folks. Remember what we showed you today. Two things. Got to be hot enough and not too much oil. That's what it takes to keep a skillet in fine condition. Thank you for stopping by the kitchen today. We don't take it for granted. Hit that button down there that says subscribe. Adios.